Iran. That's the topic for this broadcast. Let me check something just real quick. I'll be back in 20 seconds just to make sure our stream is solid. Okay, we're back. My apologies. I should have taken care of these unnecessary apps before I started this, but my production value is going to be increasing a lot in the near future here. So anyways, as you know, I'm trying to get Trump to make me the U.S. ambassador to Iran. We have not had an ambassador in Iran since 1979, which is about 45 years. And I think it would behoove the American people and the administration if we had somebody trying to broker peace in that region of the world. I think I'm a great guy to do that. I'm a good negotiator. I've got a lot of communication skills. I've got a friendly demeanor, and I'm still trying hard to make that happen. Today, I posted on Politically Incorrect in 3 different Iranian threads my value proposition, and as soon as I post, the thread gets killed. So this is why I've chosen this to be the topic of the evening, because I want to share with you what I wrote. It says, I'm Wayne Lambright, and I'm trying to get Trump to appoint me as the U.S. ambassador to Iran. We haven't had anybody courageous enough in 45 years. It would make Trump look good, like he's trying to offer an olive branch. Right now, we, the USA, like we're trying to start a war. And even though I'm still promoting this, I've been promoting this for about a month and a half now, I'm getting no traction. Hello, Pat. So when I post in these Iranian threads and then they get shut down right after my post, it tells me that my narrative of peace is not what they're trying to push. They're trying to push for war. So I'm going to say there's a high probability that Trump will be warring with Iran, whether we like it or not. And Trump gives 2 shits about stopping this. Trump is totally on board with war with Iran, and he's not trying, like, they don't have to make me ambassador, but they should make somebody the ambassador. It would make sense for them to have me as the ambassador to Iran, because I'm a bold person. I'm a person who's willing to have difficult conversations, and I have the ability to communicate back to Trump. Probably since I don't like Israel and I'm not a Zionist is probably why they're not doing it. But this is the precise reason why I would be a good U.S. ambassador, because it is publicly known that I'm against Israel's global fascism. I think Israel is shooting themselves in the foot constantly. And so I'm an American, but I'm also empathetic to the Iranian people. And I believe that they're a sovereign territory and they should be allowed to do what they want, including abusing women. Like, listen, ladies, God gave you feet. You can vote with your feet. You know, America's ideals and values stop at our border. We have to respect the sovereign territory's rights to do whatever they want to their own citizens. We can disagree, but it doesn't mean we have to go to war with them. North Korea treats people like shit, and you don't hear anything about us trying to do a regime change in North Korea, do you? Of course you don't. So we let all kinds of murderous dictators live all around the world. When we don't like a country, the first question you should ask, potentially, is there like literally trillions of dollars of money under their soil in the form of oil? Because if there is, that's probably why we're trying to destabilize them, because we just want to go steal their liquid gold. I think that's exactly what's going on. All right, enough about that. Let's read the comments here. Jacob Russenstein, no beers, sober. I'm actually probably going to be a sober person. You're probably because if I am Pat ass, am I moving? Yes, I am going to move. And sadly, my friend Rick has gotten worse. His behavior's worse. His rhetoric is worse. He's talking about killing his wife, and I'm going to put her 6 feet under. He's nuts. And so I'm going to, it's risky for me to make this move because, well, what are the risks? So there's about $700 in fuel for me to potentially just make 5 trips and move my most valuable things there. And so it's only this is save 700. It's only costing me 1,400 if I have to return. So a month's worth of my time and driving like 400 miles round trip. 5 times 4 is 2. So I'll end up driving 2,000 miles to make the move one way. But the opportunity is a show with Lisa. Lisa's super smart. We just talked for 2 hours. We really have a fun time talking. And if I take what I've learned about online broadcasting, things from like Ethan Ralph, having guests, having the money fly onto the screen when somebody does a super chat, using StreamYard to push the stream to all these different venues like Kick and Rumble and whatever channels that allow streaming. I'm not even sure there's probably 2 or 3 more. If I start putting like a lot of effort into professional broadcasting, then I'm going to increase my chances of earning money through the internet, through this. We were talking about Lisa's she's very much a very strong blue-haired Democrat, the blue wave. She watches untold hours of CNN daily, so you can take a guess at where she's coming from. But we just had a logical discussion about that medical thing 4 years ago. And she agreed with me, like it was a type of warfare. We're talking about doing fact checking. And I said, if we do our own fact checking and we have unanswered questions about things, but then we find the answer, then we can say, well, we can start our own version of our own snoops. Snoops are just people who have self-selected themselves to be fact checkers. Nobody appointed them. They appointed themselves. So Lisa and I might appoint ourselves to be our own fact checkers. I'm like, then if we get 100 fact checks, we can sell a book. Wayne and Lisa on politics. Fact checking over the last 6 months, whatever. I don't know. Maybe we'll never do that, but we're going to be able to do something. And she needs to earn some money because her husband is not there providing his share of the money. So her situation's not so good. And so there's that motivation. I'm also excited to not be in the heat. It does get to be about 100 to 105 in that territory, but it's not 120. So I think I'm going to squeeze out another 6 months of productivity where I wouldn't be productive here. I just basically complain during the heat. I'm like, my laptop's not working. It's just miserable here, and I'm tired of living in misery. And I will be living close to alcohol, so I might not be able to handle it. So I might end up being sober. Yeah. You're allowed to grow weed in California, anybody can grow at least 6 plants. Some places are more. So I'll definitely be growing some weed. And then I looked into getting a license for commercial sales and also a license for distribution. That's a license to print money right there. And she's got like 2 acres. So anyways, there's just lots of opportunities there. And also the jet boats. That's exciting. I'm not sure if you saw my Twitter, but I got my truck hooked up to the trailer. I'll pull it up and show you. And I'm going to load up the Mercedes and take it to the muffler shop and get my pipes welded. Insurance for what, Pat? All right, let me show you my so I've got the trailer out, Mercedes going on the trailer, and I got that ready to load up in the next few days. So that's exciting. I think what I'm going to do is go to town and get my food with the Mercedes. And then Wednesday or Thursday, take the Mercedes to town to get the muffler fixed, and then just drive it over to Lisa's house. There's no sense in making a 100-mile round trip just to go to her house a different day. Because once you load the car on the trailer, it's kind of a bit of an ordeal. So it might be easier just for me to just drive another 150 miles to her house and offload the Mercedes. And then I'm just going to be making as few trips as possible. I'm going to put the plywood on the trailer as like walls. So I've got to screw some boards to the bottom, then build a wall structure with some support like you saw when I went to the dump, and then just move over my most valuable things I don't want stolen from my property. Depending on my energy and how hot it is, it's my intent to take apart my structure, this one I'm in right now, because I built it with screws, those construction screws with the Torx head, so I can unscrew the whole thing and just turn it back into normal lumber and move that. And maybe I'll even take apart the metal shed. Yeah. And then I'll tell code enforcement, I'll be like, listen, guys, it would be, let's make this agreement. What if I make my property super clean, but you don't give me any fines? So maybe I'll put a house on it someday, but, give me another year or so, because summer's coming and I won't be able to do anything. So starting next November, I'll come back and I'll clean up the property and just make it nothing. No solar, no buildings, no lumber, just raw desert. You give me a clean bill of health. You take away the lien on my property, and then that'll allow me to sell it, and then I'm out of Riverside County. They might be like, sounds good, Wayne. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya, So I'm pretty sure things will work out with Lisa. We've always gotten along. I've known her for 30 years. Maybe even, no, I've known her, 30 years. That's a long time. So I'm pretty excited. Let me look at the jet boats are an excellent. Yeah. Oh, the insurance for selling weed. Good point, Pat. I don't know. If I grow the weed with a license, it gives me the legal option legally gives me the ability to sell it to dispensaries. And I'm sure that has its own nightmares and drama with it. So I might just find some Jews who want to start a marijuana dispensary with me, where we grow it ourselves and we sell it ourselves. Let me turn off my Twitter here. I'm making some rice right now also. Let me go to politically incorrect and See if there's any big news we should talk about. It's kind of like a zero news day. I don't think anything big happened over the weekend. Pat, I'm all over the jet boats. In a way, we probably shouldn't have talked about it because it seems like some of the jet boat deals aren't there like they were. I'm seeing a lot of boats being sold without motors now. I'm like, oh, damn it. They figured it out. Oh, I watched National Treasure last night. I give this movie a 2 out of 10. Total fucking garbage. This was on the level of Indiana Jones, which I was a kid when I saw it, so I was like, yeah, that was a great movie. But now I give Indiana Jones a 3 out of 10. It was just garbage. Just fake fight scenes, unrealistic narrative. What about brewing beer? There's no money in beer, man. You know, to start brewing beer, you need about $1 million worth of stainless steel shit. The alcohol business, no, I don't want to have anything to do with alcohol. Hold on, my rig here is broken. Yeah. No, I don't like, I mean, I love beer, but also beer puts weight on me, and I'm going to lose. By September, I'll lose 50 pounds for sure. Lisa is even up for losing some weight. We were talking about carbs, and she was talking about how her alcohol is adding to her fat. She's like, maybe we should just smoke a joint. I'm like, totally. So we're going to try to coach each other thin. This really isn't straight. This isn't politics, but did you see this? This woman was going to get married to this guy. Oops. And she left him at the altar because he didn't believe in Black Lives Matter. What a roasty. You know, I hope she marries a, well, I won't say it, but fuck her. That's just evil. Leave a guy at the altar like that. It's fucking evil. But also, God saved him. He was saved. This is going to be a short broadcast. There isn't much news that I could discern. Oh, Elon is saying that America is going to leave NATO, and I'm for leaving NATO. Are they copying my policy again? Maybe. I don't care. I just hope we leave NATO. I hope we leave the United Nations. The United Nations is not stopping war. The United Nations is promoting war. The United Nations is promoting genocide. The United Nations is hollow. They don't provide anything. America leaving NATO is perfect because Europe is going to make the same mistakes of the last 100 years, going to war with Russia. Leave Russia alone. Quit stealing shit from Russia. Pay Russia for their resources. Natural gas, timber, minerals. But no, Europe wants to steal it. It would be smart for Russia to just fuck up Europe right now. Just do conventional bombing. There's more where that came from, motherfuckers. All the shit they did with Ukraine, Russia should at least annihilate the city of London with some hypersonics. No nukes. Just send over like 50 hypersonics and just fuck up the city of London. Blow up the fiber optics. I mean, that's the financial hub of the world. The whole fucking, and then sell the whole stock market short because they could disrupt the stock market over there for at least 3 months. Sell it short. They shouldn't be fucking with Russia. Russia has the ability to eat their lunch instantly. And look at England. They're acting like they still have the world's biggest navy. They don't. You know, they have only like 20 operational tanks. England is fucked. They're living in the past. The only thing England has going for it is all that Rothschild money. It's just the hub of their their thiefdom. All right, we're nearly close to shutting this down. Oh, my computer is locked up. What the fuck? Oh, some updates. My Macintosh piece of shit. This little piece of crap. 2020. I just purchased a new battery from Apple. So they're mailing me a box, and then I put it in the box, and then they'll put my battery in it. That's all it needs. And then I bought a new iPhone. So my image quality is going to be better because it has a better camera. And then I get that on Wednesday, which is super exciting for me. And I bought my first ever smartphone case, the OtterBox. I've never had a protective case for my smartphone, and I bought one. I paid $40 for the OtterBox Defender. Even comes with a doohickey for your belt, so it clips onto your belt. I think that's cool. And I think it's got a doohickey for a dash mount in your car. So I'm super excited about that. I bought I sent Jessica an OtterBox because she had bought a new phone and she kept dropping them. So I bought her a brand new OtterBox, and she's like, I love it, Wayne. It's so awesome. And she got a Motorola with a little pencil. So I bought her an OtterBox. I also bought Jessica some more books. I sent her about 9 books for her birthday. And then I just sent her, I just bought her 6 more books. She doesn't even know they're coming. I mean, she knows one's coming, but she doesn't know there's 6 coming. So that should make her happy. She loves reading. What else? Negative time discovered for the first time ever. Oh, that's interesting. Flowing from the future to the past. Time travel must be real, but I just don't know how it works, man. My best guess is positive electricity and negative. Positive high voltage or negative high voltage is how you go back and forth in time. Wayne, I'd love you to have a stream where we could ask you advice about life stuff. I know you've been through a lot. Well, you can ask it now, Ben. I know you've been through a lot and have great insight on things with outside the box ideas. Well, I have a simple philosophy, which is what I got from Alcoholics Anonymous. You can't control the world. You can only control how you respond to the world. And it is the way it is. All misery comes from expecting things to be different from the way they are. Like if a meteor falls from the sky and smashes your car, and you're like, no, why me? This isn't happening. It actually is happening. It did happen. So the sooner you get on board with your car being smashed to smithereens, like you should just say, oh, fuck that. That's a bummer. And just go right onto the computer on Facebook and look for a used car. Like the more you can start living in the now, the better. Because if you're living in the past doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. You got to live in the now. And then The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale, which is, we have a choice in life. We can be positive about it or negative. It's an active daily decision. Like going to the gym and lifting weights and building a stronger body, that's an active decision. And it takes perseverance and dedication and long-term vision to sculpt your body to something that you're looking forward to. And the same applies to your brain. Like, so a positive mental attitude is critical for success. And even if your life does turn to shit, it won't be as bad as it is for other people if you have a positive mental attitude. Pat says, when you move, will you set up this house and live in it, or will you be there? Or no, I actually might be living in my shed at the house. And she currently already has a tough shed there with the 12-foot ceiling. So there's like a loft. And I mean, she said I could live in the house, but I'm like, well, you got 2 rooms in that house and you should rent those rooms to some other people because she needs money. Like her husband, he's making $2,400 from Social Security and she's only like $1,200. And they still were pulling $2,000 off their home equity loan to just kind of live. So she's about 4,000 negative right now. So she needs to replace that. And I think the fastest way to do that is to get in a couple of roommates at $1,000 a month. It's nearly a $2 million home. It's gorgeous. You're welcome, Ben. Yeah, I don't mind living in a structure like this because, you know, I'd have the house to go take a shower and cook. And so I kind of like my primitive life. You know that guy, Dick Ponkatrain, who moved to Alaska in the 50s or 60s and filmed it? I kind of feel like that guy. I mean, you know, when you sleep, you're asleep. You know, your home is not your personality. Some people turn their home into their personality, but for me, my home is not my personality. It's not my identity. My identity is tied to my inventions, my political ideology, my leadership, my coaching. I also like to do speculative future projections. I like to just project out my ideas. You know, with my campaign promises, I wrote down stuff 2 years ago and now it's being copied. I'm pretty proud of myself. Jessica and I are like, they copied you again, Wayne. I mean, they're great ideas. I read Jill Stein, like I only had 48 ideas and Jill Stein had 370. And I'm like, I'm going to copy Jill Stein stuff. And she gets the credit, but I'm still going to copy it because they're great ideas. Trump leaving NATO is fucking fiscally smart. Fuck Europe. Europe doesn't respect us, just like the rest of America hates Californians. That's how Europe feels about America. They don't like us. They don't respect us. We're big, obnoxious, fat retards to them, but they don't have free speech. But they've got socialism. Like socialism is working there. Universal health care and college for anybody who wants to put in the time. We don't have that. So Europe has more. We pay for socialism, but we don't receive the benefits of socialism in America. And we pretend like we're not socialist, but we are socialist. And America is not a democracy. We are not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. And I think the founding fathers believed that democracy was garbage and to be avoided, and that the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence is about every American having true liberty as an individual. Like the individual is a sovereign state unto itself. All right. And I think the founding fathers would be horrified the current state of America. Like America is, we're kind of no longer America. We're a low IQ prostituted version of socialism. Pat, yeah, she's got 40 solar panels, so her electricity is covered on that. But I will be bringing my solar panels for my own electrical needs, and I might start dabbling in growing marijuana electronically, because you can do a harvest every 10 weeks and do the bend training, like where you make them all the same height, because the hormones go to the top buds. So instead of just instead of a Christmas tree of marijuana where the cola turns into be like huge because of the hormones, you do bend training so they're all equal, and then every little branch thinks it's the cola, so you can get a higher you can get more yield. So I definitely love growing weed, and I like smoking joints. I mean, I like just the act of smoking joints. I don't like getting fucked. I mean, I like to get a little fucked. I mean, I want to get a little buzz, but I don't want to be debilitated. Bend training, yeah. And lollipopping. Growing cannabis is just totally rewarding. So let me see if there's anything else here to talk about. 31 minutes. Something's going on with Trudeau. Did they replace Trudeau? The Trudeau era is officially over. Oh, good. Is he out? I really don't care. It would be nice if Canada became part of America. I would like to have some property in Canada. There's some gorgeous places in Canada. I'm also, kind of an old man. I'm 56. Like, I got to really think about my retirement. So, yeah, I don't see anything else here that I think I want to talk about. Yeah, she is pretty beautiful. Let me just show you this here. I think this is our Attorney General. She's absolutely a babe. That is just, whew, what a babe. All right, let me say goodbye to everybody. Pat Paulson, Ben, John. Was Charles here? Jacob. Yogurt. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful Sunday night. I'll see you tomorrow, Sunday. Good night.